The one. Silly bitches beware, you dizzy bitches that's near. I'm giving out all calls, making truth clear. All right, selector. Yesterday I got disconnected, but I'm back again. Let's see what this shit is in the energy. Cause somebody got their hand caught up in the cookie jar. And God said God don't got no regrets because you already knowing how fraudulent these people was. That's why you are being guided to turn them away with no second guessing. It hit different when the gift, you being that gift collective, walks away with obedience because manipulation, witchcraft was used, okay? Using divine energy without being given the authority to do so. Being I'm a good person. I know I'm a good person. So I do good deeds to people without reaping or seeking rewards or benefits from it. When someone uses witchcraft magic to try to bind you and their heart is not in alignment within, they don't love themselves. So how can they love you? How can they appreciate you? Okay, collective. That's how you should look at it when you walk away. Okay, it's not to hurt your feelings. God doesn't want to hurt your feelings. If that person decides with their own free will and volition, regardless to how much you choose to want to be with this person and how much you choose to love this person, that is your choice. But this person has to be on your level. If this person chooses to be where they are in life and they don't want to ascend or elevate into a higher domain of energy and frequency, then God is going to separate you until they choose to do so. Because if they love you, they will come back regardless. Okay, what's yours is always going to be yours, even if you have to take time away. Okay, if you decide that you want to stay with a person out of disobedience, then guess what? That is your choice. But guess what? God's hand is going to be lifted and raised from up off of you because there's no growth. If you aren't teaching this person, if you aren't showing this person, if you aren't allowing this person to see that what they're doing is wrong, then God has to show them with life. And if you choose to play God in this person's life, then that's your problem. That's your fault, collective. If you choose not to step away when God is guiding you away, okay? I wanted to start this message off with that because people be taking it wrong when certain things are said about leaving a situation that's no longer serving them. It's not about you not being able to be with this person because this person is just a demon. No, it's because this person on a soul level chooses to be on a low vibration and you make them feel like it's okay but and complacent because you're not trying to push against nothing. You're not trying to ruffle no feathers. You're trying to keep everything calm, but you are trying to keep everything calm, not God. So if you're trying to play and act like God in this person's life, now you see why you're going through what you're going through. Joy is a fruit of the spirit for a reason. Wisdom is a fruit of the spirit for a reason. Remember that, collective. Now let's see. Because somebody who had did a PPP loan is about to get um the IRS involved. Somebody got caught with their hand in the cookie jar trying to eat the cake after they made it. Yay. That part. This person was using fraudulence. This is about fraudulence. Yay. Take what resonates and leave what don't. We about to get into the nitty gritty, collective. Let me finish drinking my gin, okay? While I defeat this sin. Uh-huh. The drunken master. Fuck wrong with a hoe. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Black hole. Heart of grief. Let me show y'all the card so y'all know what I'm reading. This person doesn't feel remorse. This person doesn't feel anything at this moment. So if you are dealing with somebody like this, I just want you to know this is your confirmation. You don't have to second guess. You don't have to think because people will play in your face like they fuck with you and they don't. This right here is showing you they don't know what it is. They don't know how to attach what's going on in their reality with what's going on in the delusion in their mind. That part. It's okay to admit the truth. I saw how people could live through a perspective that is warped because of what they were born into. They were born into their parents teaching them a certain way of being. They were born into the community being a certain way. So if this, hey, Mia, if they were born into that, that's what born into sin really means. Not being obedient to God because God speaks for God's self. You're very much so. So when it comes down to the come down, that's why I be speaking so adamantly about God can speak for God's self and showing people how God speaks to me because I've reached gnosis. I've reached the understanding. I've actually seen other people's beliefs and practices as well as Christianity, and I applied it and I unified it. It's not to be separate. No one's better than no one, meaning you're all taking the same test regardless to where you live, who you are. You're all taking the same test to reach the same place. You want to feel special, thinking that you know where or you know what you're doing because you were born into sin. You was born to believe something that wasn't true. What's evil is good and what's good is evil. But take what resonates and leave what don't because this person who was doing PPP loans and cheating and shit like that to get where they at, to get ahead, they about to get slapped down like a fly swatter to a gnat. That's what's about to be taking place inside of the World Collective. All these individuals who use dubious means to achieve the goal and the status that they have achieved in this lifetime, you're about to see in this season of Revelations, this just in, everybody is about to reap what they have sown. Good seeds will reap good rewards. But the seeds, like I'm talking about with this PPP shit, mind you, mind you, if you did it to help your family, you're going to be saved. If you did it to help others inside of the community, especially your employees, you're going to be saved. But the ones who did it for selfish gains, for notoriety, and selfish visualizations of others upon themselves to be perceived as something that they are not, you are about to get the big X like family feud here. Three of them here. The father, the mother, and the child here. Catch it. Let's see. Hey, hey, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, opposites attract. When you're a good person and you know you're a good person, just know you are automatically going to attract the type of person that has to learn from you. And if you are a low not intelligence, but low frequency vibing person, and you're comfortable with that, you're going to attract a high frequency person. That's why it triggers you when they start speaking truth to you. And it makes you feel like, I don't do that. So you're supposed to look into that with wisdom as a leader because a leader hears twice as much as they speak. Okay? Practice that. My manifestations are reigning supreme, and yours are too, especially if you're a child of God. Yay, because you're on par with the times, the signs of the times. Okay. I had just posted on my Facebook page how I am in divine alignment. Like my whole screen will have the same numbers in a sort of algorithm or whatever like that. People don't understand when you have reached the peak of divine alignment, there are signs that show around you. Okay. You're aware of it at that point. You get it? You don't have to worry about what someone tells you a false prophet look like because science as well as metaphysical as well as spiritual practices all lead to the same conclusion. And it's getting to that point because we're in the season of revelations. Okay. And this person, whoever this individual is who did this loan, take it as the physical one as well as the spiritual one, getting a loan from an entity because there are many gods in this world. Okay. There are many God level people in this world who have the ability to manipulate and distort dimensions as well as reality of certain individuals who are allowing themselves to be susceptible because they don't know how to apply the fucking spiritual armor that they were born with. That's why these readings are so important because you're supposed to look at it dualistically. You're supposed to look at it from the perspective of, well, I as well as they at the same time and do your dark night of the soul so you can actually see the oneness in everything. Take what resonates and leave what don't. Yeah, this is gonna be a good reading here because bad day is in reverse. Bad habits lead to late night sleeping alone. So if you see something in a pattern that's habitual, try working on it. And stop coming against my collective. Yay. If you're a part of the collective, you don't have to worry because you are protected. You are a believer, even if you're not a witness. You still operate from good energy. Okay, you may be inside of the middle level of frequency, but guess what? You're still protected by the divine. Everyone is protected because, like I told people inside of a previous reading, when it comes down to life being eternal, it is because you only go back to the source of which you came. Hold on, y'all. So when it comes down to the come down, just understand. Can you talk to us? Okay, let's see. What's going on inside of your energies, collectives? Give me something. Release. Releasing burdens, releasing bad habits that leave you feeling lonely, releasing things that make you feel taken away from your peace. Okay? You trying to start connecting with people. Okay? You're happy. What is your definition of happy, Gavin? We're going to make this reading about you right now. What's your definition of happy? You seem to be well off. Take what resonates and leave what don't. Okay. It says go around town, girl. Now what they talking about? You might be the talk of the town, Gavin. Okay. Cause I know when you have money or proximity to resources, people tend to flock around you. But what's your definition of happy? Because it's happening now. It was not intentional. Something here, you possibly saying, can you talk to us? I'm Indian, da da da, wasn't intentional for me to feel um like you were trying to demand the room, but you definitely have some form of abundance. Positive energy here, free. You and your dharma. You might be like a divine masculine, but you still confused about something. What you confused about? Timing? Timing for what? What you trying to do? Make a move that you might feel like won't be approved by the people around you? Do it. Why are you worried about what other people think? What's on your mind? Huh, Gavin? You seem like you have a good nature with yourself. Clear. It's clear. Definitely clear here that you have a good nature with yourself. You ain't do nobody nothing crazy. I don't hear you, Gavin. Talk to me. You trying to cut somebody off? Might be. That's what I'm saying. You don't know if it's time for you to walk away from somebody because you feel like your kindness is being abused. That's what I'm seeing. And you confused about how to do it, how to step away. That's what I'm seeing. because you don't want to be seen as just this um senseless being or senseless person who just is just kind and naive. You're not crazy, you're not stupid either. You just don't want to get rid of the person that you're trying to get rid of. Okay? Even though this person is jealous of you. And that's only a human characteristic. Yay. Hmm. They try to easily distract you because you love this person. Your love is like a hindrance in this fortune. Because, green is like the heart chakra. That's why kryptonite is associated with my understanding of Superman. You might be trying to play Superman in somebody's life. Take it how it resonates. Uh-huh. But they suck dick for free. They kiss everybody ass just to be fucking acknowledged because they don't love themselves. Yeah. You might have went through something and this person possibly seen what you had went through and they laughed at your pain in silence and you didn't even know about it. So that's your confirmation. Found near a lake. Mm-hmm. Quiet. Quiet as it's kept. Welcome to the live, y'all. Time to take a time out. Uh-huh, because that's not real love. This person is just showing you a facade of love. Okay, we have nephew here. You might be somebody's nephew, or this might be someone who might know your nephew. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Uh-huh. I release and reset into my abundance. Okay, so whoever needs to hear this, you're going to gain the confidence and the courage to actually move forward in whatever endeavor it is and really separate yourself from this energy that's only trying to bind you to them because you don't need to be bound in order to thrive and be yourself and authentic. You don't have to show yourself approval to people who look like me and you. You only need to show yourself approval to the person that is actually the one who created all of us at the end of the day. I was doing a post yesterday on my Facebook page where I said, "Did anyone ever notice that live and evil is literally the same word spelled backwards, as well as lived and the devil being the same thing spelled backwards? Because what you achieve in your life is what follows you in your death. Okay? Gnosis, being able to be aware of the awareness, makes you benevolent. But when you are on lower frequencies and you pass on, you become an influence to the ones who come after you. And that's where the devil's portion comes in at. That's why it is so imperatively important to seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. All belief systems end up in the same place. There's only one heaven, even if there's different realms or levels of that heaven, there's only one pathway to there, and that is mastering yourself, not the person next to you, not the bitch that you fucking, not the nigga that you sucking, but you. Okay, collective. Yeah, take what resonates and leave what don't. Cause the collective, we don't play like that. The collective don't mind being corrected. The collective don't mind holding themselves accountable. That is the collective. The ones who have reached the collective energy, those are the ones who are able to understand the understanding without it even having to be said with understood words. Okay? Yay. You telepathic. Psychic abilities. Something that you worked hard for. Slowly, slow burn. Slow and steady wins the race, though. Remember that, because the tortoise won, not the hare. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Hierophant. The Hierophant is here. So you might be a boss. You might be someone who works inside of a prestigious position. Take what resonates or leave what don't, because I will be considered a Hierophant, being that I am also a high priestess. Okay? Take what resonates and leave what don't. Hit dog. Holla if you hear me. hmm Yeah, spiritual inheritance is here. Back to PPP since Gavin has left the chat. Okay? Whoever this person is who had their hand in the cookie jar trying to take more than they was putting in because they didn't cook the cookies. They didn't cook the cookies. They just wanted to eat them bitches. Okay? Whatever you worked hard for, don't let nobody just snatch up what the fuck you worked hard for. Okay, collective? That's what you worked hard for and God blessed you with. Why would you give it away so easily? Huh? Because don't nobody else give away nothing like that. You have to put in a fucking essay for a scholarship. Remember that. Uh-huh. Ooh, you look nice. J'adore. Madame, de bien. Ooh. When you stay silent and you observe, they can't dig in your energy. Heed my warning. Okay. I'm gonna leave this chat right